Welcome to the BS Machine. This is your host, Tommy Kendi. I will be your guide through these episodes in 2023. One of the cool things about the BS Machine is that you always get some sort of gold out of every episode. Whether I'm getting guests on, and they're not just any guests, they are guests that have a cool story. Or whether it's me talking and giving you all my wisdom and all the things I've learned in life. Either way, there's always one piece of gold you'll take away from these episodes. So please enjoy and welcome to the BS Machine. Happy Monday, guys. Welcome to the BS Machine. I'm your host, Tommy Kendi, as that sort of thing mentioned before. But how you going? Good to see ya. Good to feel ya. It's so weird because when I do these podcasts, I record it usually the day or a couple of days before, but I'm already feeling you guys. Like I can feel you listening. You're sitting in your car or you're sitting at home somewhere. You're listening to my voice and you're probably thinking, what type of wisdom has Tommy got for me today? Well, I got a song for you. That's what I got. You ready for the song? From little things, big things grow. From little things, big things grow. Can you guess what the potty is about? Well, it's just about that song pretty much. I'll see you later. Thanks for listening to episode 122 of the BS Machine. No, just kidding. But we're going to dive into that. From little things, big things grow. And I'm going to use myself as a perfect example. And I was a little bit apprehensive about using myself as an example because really I'm meant to be coming through as someone that's got their shit together because I'm constantly on here telling you guys what to do. But you know what? I think I do this quite often where I use myself as an example, and I like doing that because one, it calls me on my own shit. But two, what it also does is that it shows you that, and you look, but for me, when I have mentors and teachers and whatever else, I connect with people that are working through shit constantly. And so I know that whatever I learn from them, I'm learning from experience. And this is what we're talking about today. This from little things, big things grow. It's something that is a constant, and some things I'm really fucking good at because I'm prepared to just dive in, go for it. But other things, I have so much fucking resistance. And so I want to share with you, not a story, but just a little insight into what I've been sort of really working with in my own life, but also how much fucking resistance I've had to this. So long story short, probably, I don't know, the last year I've been constantly called to go into corporate spaces and facilitate like either half-day workshops or full-day workshops. And I just thought, why am I getting all these calls? Like, how am I a corporate guy, which I'm not? And so it's interesting because my dynamic and the way that I am and the no BS type of energy, I guess, and what I bring to these half-day and full-day workshops, like I see it myself and it sort of surprises me how much actual impact they have within a corporate setting. And so the reason why I'm talking about this whole thing about from little things, big things grow is because it became evident to me, it became super obvious that this is a path that I need to explore because one, I fucking enjoy it. It's so much fun going into, the last one I did was this full day and really cool company, loved working with them. But there was like 85 people there and I got to the top, it was a full day thing and I got to the top of the day. We started at 8 o'clock. And the first thing I did, which I just intuitively thought was ideal, was we did some breath work and some movement with the whole team. So, as you can imagine, in a corporate environment, everyone's sort of sitting around these circular tables. They've all got their fucking minties, and they've got their drinks and whatever else, right? And so they all came in, and they're looking up the front at Tommy Kendi up the front. They're probably thinking, who's this fucking weird looking dude? But anyway, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to own this. Like, and it happens every time I get into a corporate setting. People look at me, they see me, and they're like, this guy doesn't look like the corporate facilitator type. And so what I did with this company, which I do quite often, but with these guys specifically, is they sat down and it was almost like a really heavy energy straight up. So at the top of the day, I said, everyone, get your ass up off the seats. And we all stood in a circle. And we stood in a circle and we did this sort of Tai Chi breathing exercise, which went for maybe 7 or 8 minutes. And we started, everyone's sort of feeling weird. We're sort of doing these weird movements, pushing hands and kneeling, not kneeling, but bending knees and pushing hands into the air and up and whatever else, but breathing at the same time. Anyway, we did this breathing, and after about 4 or 5 minutes, we had 85 people moving in unison and breathing in unison. This is before we went into any strategy stuff, any ritual stuff, before we went into anything to do with the company. Anyway, so we did this for 7 or 8 minutes. And the founder of the company, CEO, after we did this, he comes over to me, he grabs me, he's like, Tommy, oh my God, did you see that? These guys were like, we were all moving together, and we're moving and we're breathing together, and we all moved at the same time. And he's like, he had goosebumps on him. He's like, mate, I've never seen anything like it. I'm like, I looked at my watch and I'm like, mate, we're just 8 minutes in, bro. Wait till you see what we got for the rest of the day. But anyway, I just want to fill you in of what I'm talking about in terms of corporate mindfulness and what I do with these daily sort of facilitation. There's more to it. We go into little huddles and we do rituals and we, touch on strategy, and I work with the CEOs and the exec team to sort of work out what it is that they want to get out of the day, and then I just do it the Tommy way, and it fucking works so well. Not trying to blow my own trumpet, but it does, because I come into it with a way different way of doing it, and I just do it intuitively of how I believe it's going to work. So anyway, I just had this thought of like, okay, so this is definitely an avenue, one, that I enjoy, and two, that I'm needed in this space. Like, I feel like I'm really being of service to not just the exec team, but every single person in a company, whether I'm working with 5 people, 10 people, 80 people, whatever it is. And I feel like every time I do it, I expand as well. I learn more about human behavior. I learn about my own techniques and other people ultimately. Anyway, so one of my coaching clients, he is pretty much a full wizard in this space in terms of building businesses, but two, seeing the potential in individuals that haven't really seen it in themselves. So we worked out a little contra deal where I work with him in terms of his his own stuff that he's moving through, and at the same point he's going to help me with I guess expanding my space, my ability to work in the corporate space, because it's so needed. And he saw something in me that I haven't really seen yet. Anyway, so I just thought, you know what, this is one, a space that I love, but two, there's so much potential there for me to grow. And every time there's a potential for me to grow, and it looks like it's super obvious for me to head down that direction or have it as part of my thing that I offer people or offer the world, I get so much resistance. And you might, you listening might have a similar experience where it's like, I know that's where I need to go. I know that needs to be part of my life, but fuck, it's scary. Like, I just don't want to put myself out there in that manner because it's scary. What if it doesn't work? What if I find out after putting in all this time, all this effort, that I'm actually really shit at it? What if other people look at me or what if I get to one of these things where there was 85 people and I'm sitting there, and someone pulls me up and goes, mate, you're shit, get out of here, like, well, we're not paying you, you know, or whatever. There's all these fears that happen, right? But usually the process that happens is that it's a no-brainer. It's like you feel within yourself that is where you need to be. That is where you need to go, where you need to head. And it's also a space that intrigues you, but it's also a space where you know that you can offer a lot of fucking value. And so I've been working with my client with this little contra deal where I work with him and he works with me and whatever else. And so he just said to me, he's like, dude, let's just get something together, like a 1-pager or a 1 or 2-pager that you can just send out to clients and do it. Anyway, I've been sitting on this fucking 1-pager for, I reckon, a week and a half, 2 weeks. And if Chris, if you're listening, mate, fuck you, I'm doing my homework. but yeah, so I've been sitting on this 1-pager for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And every time I sit down to do it, I just feel this resistance. I'm like, no, I can't do it. It looks shit. I'm not good enough. Even though I've done a bunch of these for God knows how many, the last couple of 2-3 years, I've done a bunch of these. I mean, I've done enough to be able to go, you know what, I'm good in this field and I offer great value. I've never had bad feedback. People are always asking me back, and you know, I'm just, it makes sense. But it's like as soon as it comes to me wanting to promote myself, I feel like that's Winston, by the way. If that was Winston, you would have heard Winston. But shut up, Winston. Oi, Winnie, shut up. Anyway, so this is an area in the field that that I know that I'm going to give back a lot of value, and I have to grow and I have to expand. And so the reason I've been sitting on this 1-pager for so long is because I'm so fearful of what's going to happen if I actually put this out there and this shit works, and I start to get constant, not just like a thing where it's like, oh, fuck, cool, got another corporate gig, but actually things that I'm going for, things that I'm moving towards, and things that I actually want to add, you know, value that I want to add. So then when this resistance comes up, I just think to myself, do you know what, Tom? Just do the tiniest little bit that is there, just the tiniest amount, you know, just sit, just see if you can find something that makes sense, get some words just from just little things, right? And then as you do those little things, then you go, oh yeah, cool. Well, maybe if I've got those words, I can put it here and there, maybe some of the colors I'd want to use for the page, and then, you know, I can send it off to Chris and he can have a look and da-da. Anyway, so I did this first 1-pager, and fuck, it was shit. Like I almost want to put it onto my Instagram, because you guys will just look at it and go, mate, there's no chance I'd be bloody buying into that. But I knew that one of my biggest flaws is when it comes to promoting myself, it's something that I'm terrible at, because there's this inner fear. It's like, oh my God, what if people actually find out that I'm not capable? And then if I'm not capable, then, oh my God, I'm going to need the help of all these people to make me capable. And it's such a bullshit belief. And I've spoken about this before, but that's what I have to fucking deal with every day. I mean, you guys would have your own stuff, but I deal with this shit every day of not being capable, you know. But, you know, and at the end of the day, even though I believe I'm not capable, I'm standing up in front of 80, 100 people sometimes and doing this shit and getting fucking amazing results and loving it. So I did this 1-pager, fucking terrible, sent it to Chriso. He sends back, it was really nice. He's like, all right, dude, what about this? And send me a few ideas. I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God. So, by the way, today, I haven't done anything, just an FYI, but it's on my to-do list for tomorrow, which is Monday, which is when you're going to be listening to this. You can even call me on my shit and go, hey, Tommy, do you know what? Send us that 1-pager, we want to see it, and I'll fucking flick it straight over to you. And you'll see it, and you go, oh, this is the 1-pager Tommy was talking about on these old podcasts, eh? So if you want to check out that 1-pager, give us a holler, guys, and I shall flick it over to you, and who knows, you might even see it and go, oh, very interesting. I might use Tommy for our company. What? Anyway, so the purpose of what I'm talking about here is all of us have this no-brainer that makes sense, and whether the things are happening in there or not for you yet, there's a no-brainer, and all we really have to do is start small and then just keep building. So from that first moment where I had this idea that I'm like, fuck, I need help in this space, but like almost like a mentor, someone to help me build this part of my business, because I love doing it. So, and then I got a new client, and then I spoke to him, and I'm like, hey dude, you know what? How about we do a contra deal? You can help me develop this part of my business, and I'll help you doing, get yourself together and feel better, and work some behavioral stuff and whatever, and just I'll do one-on-one coaching with you, and we'll swap and spit swap, whatever they call it. Anyway, so we're doing some swapping, and it's rocking. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I'm giving back to him. He's giving back to me. It's fucking rocking, right? But now I'm in this space where from the little bit, we dug a little bit, and then I added to the little bit, and then I'm here, and I'm like, man, if I take this any further, this thing might actually work, and that's fucking scary. So now I've got to reconnect. The hardest bit, I reckon, is just to get started, which thank God I already got started. The next part is actually this next part of the resistance, which is like, man, if you do any more in this, it might actually become a proper thing. And then so that's where I'm at now. I'm at that spot where I've done a little bit and it's grown. And it's like, guys, even in the last couple of weeks, like just because I've given this energy, this corporate space energy, I'm having like 4 or 5 people that I'm just randomly meeting saying, what do you do? And I'm actually saying, I do corporate mindfulness, I do this, and they're like, oh, our company really needs that. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so they're like, can you send us a 1-pager? And I'm just laughing, going, this is hilarious. Like, I'm literally going to have to send them a 1-pager. And in my head, I'm going, yeah, I'll flick it over to you later. Do I? Nah. But I actually spoke to, there's 5 people that I'm sending it to next week, so they know that it's coming. But this is a thing. It's like whatever you put your attention on, and as soon as you start making some sort of effort, some sort of action, it'll start moving. It'll start bringing itself in. It'll start drawing, and you'll start to attract people towards you that want to push you further into actually getting this out into the outer world, getting this out, and ultimately getting it to the space where you're actually doing it. So from that first thought, if I didn't do anything with it, if I didn't believe in that little intuitive meeting to chat to my client, who's pretty much become a good buddy now, to chat to him and go, hey man, what do you think about this? And he's like, yeah, dude, no brainer. Let's just fucking go. This is what you do. This is what you do. Blah, blah, blah. And then, man, so now I'm in this place. Right, and you guys would relate to it, where you've done stuff, and then the next part is the real clincher. That's the part where you've got to actually like double down, and this is where the magic starts to happen. You double down, and you're like, all right, cool. Well, if I do any more steps, it's actually going to come to reality, and I like that idea. I mean, look, other than the fact that I'm just going to be honest, like I'm going to love doing all the corporate shit and do all this stuff. But at the same point, man, the money in corporate wellness is fucking amazing. Like that's just going to be like a little add-on. I mean, it's that's Winston again. Someone just walked in the house. Anyway, so the actual add-on that you can have in terms of delivering value, and then you're actually getting paid like great money for what it is that you're offering, and that fucking works well for me. That really works well for me. And I've seen some other people what they charge in this space, and holy shit, like I'm blown away. Like I'm like, fuck man, unbelievable. And I'm not just talking about the money, but it's like getting comfortable with making that sort of coin, that sort of return. And yeah, do I believe I'm adding value to that effect? Fucking oath. It's like lifting your own echelon, or your own barrier, or what you believe that you're worth. And that's how it all works. And this is just not monetary, with everything, even relationships. What are you worth? Like, you've got to constantly lift the bar, because if you don't lift the bar and you stay in your pussy little whatever, then you're just going to keep getting what you're getting, right? So we have to constantly raise the bar, but as soon as we raise the bar, there's going to be tension, there's going to be resistance. So our job is to learn that every time that there's resistance, I've spoken about this many times before, when there's resistance, we've got to step up, and all we know is that we're expanding, we're moving, things are happening. So that's pretty much all I want to talk to you guys about. It's about from little things, big things grow. And I love that I get to talk to you about that, because it's a big one. It's a huge one for me, and I'm so thankful that I listen to my gut. I ask the questions. I'm doing the stuff. I'm taking the action, and I can see it. Like, I can actually see the process, the strategy of it, of how as soon as you just add on, and then I'll keep you guys in the loop. But who knows? I might even be over at your space teaching corporate mindfulness, and there's a lot to it. And anyway, so that's what I want to talk to you about today. It's a quickie. What is it? 20-something minutes. Perfect. Love it. Quick and straight to the point. And then by the way, because I'm releasing this tomorrow, some of you also know I went on a fucking TV show. So if you watched Channel 9, if you're in Australia, if you watched Channel 9 last night on the old, the program's called Rush on Channel 9. If you watched last night, because I'm recording this on Sunday, so I'm not sure yet what's going to happen. So by tomorrow, because I don't see any of the footage, so I'm basically going to be watching myself on TV tonight on Rush, and it's going to be very interesting watching. But you'll be listening to this by tomorrow. So if you think it's on Channel 9, or if you're in Australia, Channel 9 on Sunday, on Monday, and for Tuesday. And I think it's on for the next like 3 or 4 weeks or whatever. But anyway, let's see how I go. I could tell you, but I'm not allowed. So let's see how I go, eh? But anyway, love you guys. From little things, big things grow. And yeah, look forward to catching up with you guys next week. And yeah, if you've got any questions, if you want to roll through anything, if you've got anything, any feedback, any fucking love, share my podcast, share the episodes, and I will see you when I see you. Well done, guys. Thank you for hanging out with the T Doggy Dog. Have an epic week. Do some shit. From little things, big things grow. Love you, guts.